My name is Scott Brady, WPX Energy. I am the district drilling manager. Been in the oil and gas business for 43 years. Never done anything but drilling rigs, production, completion, pipeline. The changes in oil and gas, especially in drilling, are as dynamic as technology with electronics that's gone on in the last 15, 20 years. Oil and gas drilling, when I started, was a very long, dirty, ugly, nasty, hardcore process. It still is today, but it's done with technology such that roughnecks aren't roughnecks anymore, they're softnecks. Everything's done with hydraulics, automation. That's somewhat acceptable to an old guy like me, but not completely. Roughnecked in the summers in high school in '69 and '70. Got my first roughnecking job in the latter part of '70 into '71 and broke out in Walden, Colorado. Traveled chasing drilling rigs, I guess you might say. That's what a roughneck did back in those days. If you couldn't hold your own everywhere you went, you didn't get to call yourself a roughneck. Hardcore, tough, mean, not just at work, but away from work. Only one thing matters to me, and that's my family. My career is next, and I am probably a little bit different than most. A lot of guys get to be my age, they start looking forward to retirement. I can't stand the thought. I have very many goals I still want to achieve. I can't wait to get to work. I wake up in the middle of the night with ideas. My guys give me a hard time. I'm supposed to be slacking off a little bit because I'm getting old and I'm not out on the rigs anymore, but I'm still the first one in the office every morning. And I'll start texting them and sending them emails before they're out of bed. And that's just my enthusiasm for what I do every day. So my family's first. In my career, there's nothing else. It's just golden. I couldn't ask for any more. If I had to do it again, I'd do it just exactly like I did. My wife might not say that because she had to raise my kids, but I would. My wife, she's my boss, she's my right arm, she's my best friend. Very few guys that have traveled and done what I've done in oil and gas were able to stay married. She was from an oil and gas family. Her father retired from Chevron after 35 or 40 years in the industry, so she kind of had an idea what she was up against. Very hard career-wise, but we've done just fine and still looking forward to what's next. I had 3 girls. They're all married to guys that work in the oil and gas industry. They all do very well. I've got 7 grandkids. Some of those kids are already fantasizing or talking about, asking Grandpa about working in oil and gas. Got a horse ranch down in Palisade, Colorado. I had a world champion reining stallion a few years ago. It's got cows and horses on it, and I cut hay and build hot rods, and it's kind of a little 25-acre haven. We're very proud of our property. We're not very social. We spend most of our time right there or with some of our family. I'm not one of these guys that looks for a legacy to be left. What it is what it is. Honesty, trust, integrity, a friend, a companion. But I've always been fair. I've never asked anybody to do anything that I wouldn't do. And most of the time, if I did ask them to do it, I'd be right there with them. And most anybody that knows me would tell you that'd be fine.